Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Tired of everybody claiming they king life, out here living and living like peasant, you know what I mean? Hey. 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 My partner say that he facing a double murder. Another one say he sold her undercover. Homie hit my line, say he gotta read me. If P.O. ain't playing with them ways, gotta see sick. The shawty say her and the dude had to part ways. He put his hands on her, then he called a case. She called it land on him, let him plead his case. After that was done, yeah, they broke his face. My bro free now, bro, the jizz came on. We gon' do it big, but that boy park on. They can lock you up, yeah, just a lesson learned. Try to keep you down, bitch, we gon' set it earn. Got this weight on my chest like an anvil. Now my head hurt, might need an Advil. Ad-lib, certain ass kill, ayy. $1 bill. Light it up, twist it, spark it up. Now we live. Light it up, twist it, spark it up. Now we live. Light it up, twist it, spark it up. Now we live. Light it up, twist it, spark it up. Now we live. To the money drill started like on Major Payne. And I'ma get to a billion like on Bruce Wayne. Kicking shit and I'm fly like Luke Kane. Tis the season to be married that move same. Hey, I'm trying to be buried in a few things. All the Mars skeletons thugging on me to all the walk. Dogs by far, I'ma make an imprint on your brown mind. I'm so different. We're not the same. I'm on my king shit. Yes, he looking bad, but she ain't good shit. She want it all in bad, but she ain't worth shit. She looking for a dad, but he ain't no shit. Amongst the kings, it's a code of silence. Real G's moving silent. Real B's moving silent. And real C's moving silent. Born to be K-I-N-G, born to be K-I-N-G, born to be K-I-N-G, born to be K-I-N-G. Father who left us to me, Yahweh on the right side of me, and it is where they gon' be, and it is where they shall be. Father who left us to me, Yahweh on the right side of me, and where they gon' be, and it is where they shall be. I've been in it for as long as I remember. 1988, I was born in November. Scorpio, and I feel like the Phoenix. Rasta man, the way I'm killing these demons. Might as well talk the way I'm counting this money. Got tripping like I got up, be dreaming. I saw her from the bad, thought about speaking. She looked at me like, give me that semen. Honey. Hey, king shit, I mean, man on the beat, what going on? Hey, Trout Bird Light album, we finna drop that on y'all for you, I mean. Hey, honey.
Peace and love. Welcome to the Lord's business, where the mission of the show is to provide a platform that can elevate and educate our people to the next spiritual level through helpful dialogue. You tuned in with Lord Moesia, the Traveling House. Today we're talking about the coronavirus and how you can prevent those kind of diseases, not just the coronavirus, but having healthy habits to keep yourself in top form and increasing your immune system and such things like that. Really, what I feel like the top priority is to wash your hands. It don't sound like it's uncommon, but most people don't really think about it. They use the bathroom and walk right out, but as you do that, you leave germs and things on your hands, and once you do that, you can spread it to other people once you get infected with it, and then it causes other people to get infected. And after that, they go out and they might have unhealthy habits, and they'll spread it to other people. And from there, it gets to where how the coronavirus started was in Wuhan, China, and they said that before it was like nationalized to where we found out what it was, that the doctor who died from it had warned us about it, and nothing was said about it until all of it went down, and everybody was like, well, what happened? Why was there no warning given? Do we have a cure and whatnot? And the doctor had warned them about it. I didn't really read up too much into the situation, but I know that he had given them a warning and they didn't listen. And so that's what happens when you're given a warning or a heads up and you don't heed that warning. But back onto the topic, the coronavirus went from Wuhan, China, to the next publicized place that they said on the news, which was Italy. And I'm down in South Carolina in the America of the United States, and a man came from Italy to the United States, so this affected my state personally. He came to South Carolina sick with the coronavirus and infected more people. I guess he wasn't practicing enough healthy habits or whatnot, and so personally, me being a young person, we don't have school until April the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, from is tomorrow until April the 6th. And we don't have school for about 2.5 weeks. But me personally, I was always taught to wash my hands and be healthy and make sure I was somewhat clean. And also, I started implementing new habits. Like before, I didn't really know about washing your hands before you eat. So I admit that I could have had healthier habits, but I started getting into that maybe 2 years ago. So that way I would be as germ-free as I could, even before I ate. And after I ate, I washed my hands again. That way I wouldn't get whatever food I had on my hands onto my clothes or whatnot, so that way to further prevent the spread of germs and whatnot, like the grease that's on the food. But personally speaking, from a personal situation that's what I'm be speaking on, at my school there's not too much. Surprisingly, there's not too much practice cleanliness that we need, and it could be a whole lot better. I've seen people go in the bathroom, do their business, and walk right out without a second thought about it, and it kind of takes me out of my comfort zone, because after practicing cleanliness and hygiene for a long time, you just see that and you're like, were they raised a different way, or did they not have soap and whatnot? Could they not just use maybe water? Could they not at least fake it like they're washing their hands? They don't really put no effort or thought into it. They just walk in, use the bathroom, and walk right out without a second thought to it. And that's how germs get spread in District 7, which is the district that I'm in, South Carolina. We had a report of coronavirus, and the way they carried about it, it really shook the situation. So that's really what happens. And when it happened, it was like an uproar, and they had to cancel along with District 6, because District 6 also had a similar situation, but they handled it a lot more professionally, as explained by adults and people that I've heard talk. But that's enough with my short explanation. I'm going to now introduce you to Lord Infinite. Take it away, brother.
Peace and love. How everybody doing here in now that the listening audience on the Lord Business show and podcast, definitely want to give a salute to our fellow comrade Lord Moise for giving us a powerful presentation from his perspective in South Carolina. I'm in Georgia myself, like where the CDC at, so it's a lot of different information that we have access to. Even one can access the website, and I want to, before we start, like, let's open up with the Al-Fatiha. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom has bestowed thy grace, the way of those whom portions is not a route and have gone not astray. Amen. So I want to get into a few key facts, and I find this very informative and helpful to us and the listening audience. Fact one: diseases can make anyone sick regardless of their race or ethnicity. Fear and anxiety about the COVID-19 can cause people to avoid or reject others even though they are not at risk for spreading the virus. Fact two: for most people, the immediate risk of becoming seriously ill from the virus that causes COVID-19 is thought to be low. Older adults and people in age with underlying health conditions such as diabetes, lung disease, or heart disease are at greater risk of severe illnesses from COVID-19, which is coronavirus. Fact three: someone has completely quarantined or has been released from isolation does not pose a risk of infection to other people. That's fact three, family. I want to fact four: there are simple things you can do to help keep yourself and others healthy. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing, going to the bathroom, and before eating or preparing food. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Fact five: you can help stop COVID-19 by knowing the signs and symptoms, which are fever, cough, shortness of breath, develop symptoms. Well, say seek medical advice if you develop symptoms. Have been in close contact, and if you have been in close contact with a person known to have had the coronavirus or live and have recently traveled from an area with an ongoing coronavirus outbreak or what have you. And we kind of see, in different states doing their own program as far as in a way that they feel like they can combat the coronavirus or contain it. And based on that information I just read out loud, I personally, to those of us in our age range, us youth as youngin, it's really not as severe to us, but COVID in itself is a scientific label for the common cold. And COVID-19 is a different mutation of that. And like our brother so eloquently put, the disease the outbreak was first discovered to be originated in Wuhan, China. And from there, it kind of traveled all across the world. So basically, a lot of it got elders in a way, grandparents, grand aunties and uncles, and elders, like going back to that village that it took to raise us as kids. Them disease is more of a critical situation for them. Like our family member that's suffering from something already, whether it be diabetes or some type of lung cancer or any type of cancer or whatever, they can be detrimental to their health because it's you dealing with one with a weakened immune system already. And going forward, like our brother so eloquently put, like with washing of our hands and making sure that we are clean, practicing on cleanliness, honest, godliness. And when that pretty much in our program too, when we speaking about the vicegerent, like that what old glow represent purity, like keeping fair and clean dealing. So when we speaking about the coronavirus and conspiracy behind it, like, yeah, it's serious. Yeah, we gotta be on the up and up in our psyche, like, so as we are safe as to combat ourselves from not catching this disease. But we also gotta look at on the flip side, like within our body. Like our body is a temple. Our body controls different cycles from our endocrine system, circulatory system, all of these different systems. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't name with stomach with the acid in our stomach. And our body produces antibiotics to combat diseases and other agents that pose a threat to our body. So the thing is, on the flip side, we got to make sure we eating right, like make sure we living, like make sure we eating to live as opposed to living to eat. Want to make sure we getting our proper dose of fruits, vegetables. We gotta be mindful of the GMO food, fruits and vegetables. Gotta be mindful of the overdosed up steroid induced and hormone induced meats that they got on the market. Like all of this stuff can be remedied by just taking a step and changing our diet. I ain't professing to be no botanist or just a holistic guru, but I mean this simple knowledge found in the Bible, found in a lot of country anecdotes, country phrases and all that. Like when we take a phrase like "you are what you eat," and our body is, you know what I'm saying? We look at a high car like that Tesla, that Benz, like we see that value on that. We got to look at ourselves as having that same value. Not saying that we get out here and say we forcing our value on somebody, but we got to, in our own mind, know our own value so we'll be able to exercise a new freedom, a new height within ourselves. A part of the game is also having that confidence, killing that ego. So eating the proper food in our diet, putting the proper positive food in our mind, as far as we got to feed ourselves with positive word, good energy and vibration, cause there, for lack of a better word, like the more we had disease with ourselves or discomfort within ourselves, like the low self-esteem we got, the more lower of a level we own, the more receptive and open that we are when it comes to letting those devils in and becoming a host in our body. becoming a agent that take over our body, like the Mr. Smith in the Matrix. Like we don't want to be like Mr. Smith, agent in the Matrix. We want to be like Neo. And going forward, family, we gotta always remember to wash our hands. Like that, I mean, that's a whole a rule. Like going back into when you opening the door or closing it, like these places carry germ. Like we talking about a germ or disease that we breathe in. Something that like how many times are we conscious about what we breathing? Like we ain't just think, oh man, we gotta be in this A1 air, man. We gotta be in this good air. How we just move amongst where we at and without knowing the air we in or without feeling the air we in. So definitely we gotta be mindful of that. Definitely we gotta, I don't know how to drill that in. Like we gotta be mindful of the food we eat. I know that fast food be good sometimes. I know we eating on the budget sometimes, but I mean the Bible say like it ain't so much the bad thing or we eat, but also we can experience the same thing eating too much the good stuff. So it's still all about a proper balance. Like our stomach balances our alkalines and acids. Having too much alkaline can be as detrimental as having too much acid in your body. Gotta remember that balance. That what it is really about balancing out your body so you can have a healthy immune system. Eating your veggies, eating those things that was on that period yachted food chart or whatever. And family, I want to get into a little clip. Like we want to definitely keep some good sense and good energy and vibration on the call as far as something to meditate in on your mind. Got a little clip from our brother, beloved brother Ben Ali. Y'all stay tuned, we'll be back.
Well, you're coming up on Lulu. I got a lot of kids. What you gotta say? Yeah, man, I'm proud of what we got going on, man. I know this demonstration is going in the right direction. All positive things going on. We're resurrecting the spirit of Bobby, and that's really important. Back what we had from the 50s back now. So we're bearing witness to a reoccurring or a reincarnated situation to bring back what 2212 stands for as a nation. So I think that's mighty and that's powerful. And peace and love to everybody that came out. Peace and love, bro. Anyway, take it, give me a hand. If you don't mind, can I get a reaction from some of you students here in terms of what you think about the presentation? If any of you students or interns, get your reaction. Some of your thoughts. No comment. Excuse me, can you repeat that one more time? My name is Charles, and I'm very thankful to be here today. Appreciate that you're so welcoming and a lot of powerful words and also take today.
Right. Yeah. All right. What my take on it pretty much was where you start off from doesn't have to be your end destination. You can intend on doing the wrong thing, but eventually change your mind and go on a different path. Because we're not bad people as Vice Lord. We're people just like everyone else. And perception is reality. We have to change the people's perception of how they look at us for it to become a reality. Because if they don't see anything different, they're still going to think we doing the same thing.
I know you're that sharp, brother. That's my son.
let me say this from experience. You know, as you move in life and you elevate your life, you're still going to be tagged. You're still going to be discriminated against. You're still going to be stereotyped and judged. You know, I became a member of the Black Lord Nation back in 1965. Yeah, 1965. And, I did 3 years on death row. I was charged with 15 counts of murder, 2 attempted murder, and mob rape. And more, a majority of my witnesses were vice lords. I had to live that down. You know, my mother lived on the block over here that name is named after her. On her very doorstep, my little 8-year-old nephew was gunned down by a vice lord. I had to live that down. You know. I went on, came out, when I come out the joint the last time, I was 30. Had never worked a day in my life. Never had a Social Security card. But I went on to sit in a GED class with a bunch of kids laughing at the questions I was asking, calling me pop. I refrained from hitting one of them little bars in the eye. Yeah. But I had to persevere a lot. You know, my very first job, guys calling me a stool pigeon because I wouldn't steal out the warehouse. Wouldn't get high on my lunch break because I was serious about finishing parole for once in my life. I had to refrain from robbing the joint, sticking everybody up because I was made to feel. So I'm just saying, as you climb the ladder and you try to make this path, this righteous path, it can be a very lonely walk. And when I was making that transformation, it was other vice lords that was laughing at me. That shit ain't gonna work. Why you doing that? I remember running the Challenger and DJ, and they said, man, you sound like a white boy. Because I'm not talking with all that tobacco in my mouth. You get me, you understand? All that's gone. So now they judge me. So it's gonna become a very lonely walk when you try to do this here. But don't get it twisted. When Bobby Gore and them first started moving toward conservative vice lord corporation, it was a handful of them. All the other vice lords are still robbing, getting high. That's why they got the bad publicity they get. All vice lords wasn't part of that. Be clear about that. Just like what y'all doing there, all of them ain't gonna get on board. And society is a non-giving society. Now, I went on to get a GED finally. Became a certified drug abuse counselor. Got a degree in criminal mental health and substance abuse. I've been a director of the program to work with ex-offenders who got drug problems. I've been a regional director. Got a master's degree in leadership development and education. Got a bachelor's degree in inner city studies. I'm a professor at a university. But I still get labeled as a vice lord. Can't shake it. So I'm saying to you, you're going to get discouraged along the way, and it's going to be by your own. Because see, that's what change is all about, is learning how to detach from those that are going to hold you back. My biggest struggle in the beginning was with my own brother. Been to the joint 6 times. Because I told him he needed to get some dope out of my mama's house and some pistols. Because he was jeopardizing them and their home. He looked at me like I lost my mind. How many of y'all done violated your parents' home? Because he used to me being up on it. But when I started changing, started setting new boundaries, he looked at me like I lost my mind. He wanted to come in my house high, strapped up. I'm like, no, you can't come around my kids like that. He looked like I done betrayed him. And I started seeing other brothers and they want to jump in my car, and I know he just probably robbed somebody that nobody else. No, you can't get in my car. You're a detriment to me. I'm driving with you. They don't tell me who might shoot this car with you in it. You got to set these kind of boundaries. So if you ain't ready to set them kind of boundaries, on the sake of, well, he one of the people, he cool with me, and all it takes here in Chicago, all it takes is me to be driving from here to where I'm going to my grandson's birthday party and run across the brother. Oh, Bill, he wants to give me a lift. I can let him in my car. and said my back break like this work. The police pull me over. He gets to fidgeting, talking about he got a pistol on him and all that stuff. Who car they gonna pawn and tow and all that stuff? Not his. Whose father gonna end up back in jail? Not his children, because it's in my name. So I gotta fall out with a lot of people to set those kind of boundaries. You follow what I'm saying? All right, so I offer this here to all of y'all. If you don't have a vision on how you would like to look like to you 5 years from now, you need to start thinking about it. Having a vision forces you to set goals. Goals determine who you should be associated with and who you shouldn't be associated with. Goals determine what you should be doing every day and what you shouldn't be doing. But you got to have it. And them goals give you something to thrive for. If you want to get your record seal, a record sponge, or clemency, then there's some things you got to do. You got to avoid getting arrested. You got to become crime-free. You got to be drug-free. You got to do those things. You got to be employed. You got to complete school. So when that file go in front of that committee to decide if you're going to get your record seal, they want to see what have you done since you've been home. Some things you got to do. It ain't just going to happen. So I offer this here to you. Whatever your goals is, whatever your vision is, the main thing you got to do if you live in a town like Chicago where people getting killed every hour on the hour, you got to stay alive. Here in Chicago, I got to master how do I stay alive. I can't get killed. So I think a lot of humbling walking in the store, the young brothers blocking the doorway, thinking like I'm bogus because I'm asking them to excuse me. And that old gangster in me want to raise up and like, man, you know, but I know when I cross that line, there ain't going to be no fight. He might as well come out the jury he got on, give me the keys to this car, get off this corner. That's still inside of me. But I got to practice how to keep that part of me dead, man. And play the bigger picture, because what I do is going to impact a whole lot of people. You follow what I'm saying? And the second thing, to reach your goals, you got to avoid getting arrested. You ain't going to reach your goals locked up. So you got to think about, can you get killed hanging with certain people? In certain places, doing certain things. Can you get arrested hanging with certain people in certain places, certain things? And the third thing is, you ain't going nowhere high. All a high is you inhale a substance to put in your body, and it alters your mind and damages brain cells. That's what a high is. And when it's all over, that brain is still damaged. Right? So I use your own language. I just focus just on your hat. How many y'all believe in the hat, cane, gloves, 5-point star, all that stuff? Y'all believe in that? I'll just stick with the hat. What is it? The shelter on your head, so you have to cleanse your mind. But the key thing is to stop allowing your physical cravings, like your anger, your lust, your greed, your envy, control how you act. So learn how to think as a man with mind of a man. But you got to master being a man and a woman of your word. Some of y'all probably broke your word to yourself this morning. Some of y'all probably had some plans you go through today, and thus far you probably broke your word already today. How many of y'all go through a day and violate your own word you take for yourself? See, we got to master being a man and woman of our word. Not just to ourselves, but to other people. And that's what that's about, living authentic. Because a lot of us function inauthentic. And we say things like, keep it real with me. But we ain't real with ourselves.
Peace and love. So back to the topic at hand. This is you tuning in with Lord Mwizzy. I'm here to get my piece. Excuse my background, my little brother.
Oh, peace and love.
All right.
Oh, my bad. I think I was on mute. My bad, bro. But you come in. My bad. I was on mute. Oh, man.
Oh, all right. I take it from here.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it again and say I was talking on mute again, whole still. But basically, what I was saying, appreciate you for let me know that, beloved, bro. They give me a few minutes to kind of express what I was sharing in solitude. That was crazy. But basically, what was going on, I was speaking about the video that we just shared, the MP3 that we just heard from our beloved brother Ben Ali, and those, in my humble opinion, what we were demonstrating are like survival tactics. And when the brother broke it down so eloquently with the use of our demonstration like that represent that had with shelter, like we definitely need shelter. That came with that strength. And when we look at the coronavirus and what's going on, or we can say the Ebola or Y2K, boy, like it's okay to be cautious. It's okay to be concerned. Make sure that you ensuring your safety and the safety of your family. It's okay to be that way. It's okay to go all out and demonstrate for your family. But some of this stuff can be damn ridiculous, family. Like, why are we all like here single? We probably ain't got a household like 3 or 4 people. We going out here buying out all the racks, toilet paper, hand sanitizer. Hell, we need those things. Want to be safe and healthy within our family, but man, I know y'all have seen some of the stories on social media, and I want to let my brother come on in, Lord Moise. He will definitely prompt in his delivery and presentation. We want to hear what our brother got to say. Peace and love.
Peace and love. To reiterate that fact that you was just talking about how the stores on social media, the whole aisles, not even being limited to the toilet papers and towels and hand sanitizer and cleaning products and whatnot. People is buying everything out of the stores to the point where stores around America are shutting down. And they said, I was hearing a little bit of talk among adults that the stock market is gonna crash. I don't think the coronavirus would be that significant, but it's studying the like rates and whatever and how people taking out loans and whatnot. It seems somewhat likely, but back to the fact that the aisles getting bought out. Multiple stores, even in my area, they completely bought out. I went to a Walmart before heading home, and the whole aisle in the towel section and whatnot, it was bought out. Most of the meat in the meat section was bought out, and I feel like it's because the sickness is pushing in. So what people decide to do is they kind of turn to going to that topic of survival tactic. They turn into squirrels, so as chipmunks. They'll store it all in a place and basically wait for winter. And while winter is coming through, they kind of like hibernation, but they stay in their house and they don't really leave that space until winter is over and whatnot. And so whenever they get that supply, they stock up a lot in one short period of time. And so our replication of that action and that action will go to the grocery stores and buy out whole aisles or buy as much as our money will allow us, and then we go home and we put it up somewhere where it'll be well refrigerated. That way we can get to it and it not be stale or old or whatnot, and we use that until we weather the winter or the cold. Didn't really mean for that to be a pun, but yeah, basically we want to weather the storm until the coronavirus starts to settle down and whatnot, and then we'll start buying less again, and we'll be able to space out our purchases. But until the coronavirus flies off or starts to die down, we're going to start buying in big, bulky amounts That way we can go one time, get it home, and it'll last us a long time before we have to go out and possibly get sick. So to minimize that, they'll buy a lot, wait for it all to go down to where they have to go back out and get it, and they'll go buy another big amount. And all this considering people have been getting laid off and people have been applying for unemployment and being fired from jobs, it's kind of not what you want. It's not really a sustainable way of life, because although the companies like Duke Energy and whatnot, they said that if you couldn't pay the electricity bill, your power wouldn't get cut off until the coronavirus had dissipated or whatever, had been diminished down to a reasonable amount or whatnot. Even though that happens once it's over, you basically have to start from the beginning. Because let's say you bought it, went home, stayed in, caught cabin fever, and you don't want to go out. And let's say you go outside and you buy a big amount and you come back and the coronavirus just then starts to die down, they find a cure and whatnot, then you have to start from the beginning, because you just wasted all that money going to buy all those products and whatnot. The only good thing to it is that for that amount of time you won't have to buy anything, but you're going to be maybe 2 times, even triple times short than what you would normally do if you were saving up money and you were trying to do it to last a long time and not have a big amount, get rid of it, use it, and then go back and buy that big amount again. So if as a survival tactic, I wouldn't recommend it in today's modern society because of the importance of money. And as certain people, you might be listening, you might be a little younger. Once you get older, you'll learn that that's not really a sustainable way of life. And the older people already know about it because they experienced it before. They probably have tried it before and it didn't work. Going out to buy bulk and buying a big amount, coming back, pouring it all until you get done with it, and then going back to go, spend it again once you get it and you barely skate by, is not really a sustainable way to live, because then you have to start thinking about your mental health. Nobody, not one person that I know, unless you have a job that you love, and if it's that case, then you're not working for your money. You doing what you want to do to get profit off of it. So it's basically a win-win situation. But in most cases, people have to do jobs just to get by and whatnot, and they don't particularly like that job. So stressing yourself to get money and then blowing it all away, and you don't get any vacation in between, because if you have bills within that time period that you apply for vacation, then you can't get that because you have splurged at least 2 or 3 times on a big amount of groceries, stuff like that. So once you do that, it becomes harder and harder to supply for yourself, and soon enough you'll be going into a downward spiral, and you'll just be stuck in that endless loop, and that's kind of depressing. Just to know that every day that you get up, you go stress, you go work your butt off, come home, and something runs out, so you have to go buy in bulk just to have it and come back and realize that maybe half a month later it's going to be gone. You're going to have to go buy a whole nother big amount of it. But back to the coronavirus itself, they said that the way it works is it attaches to your body, and it's kind of like a porcupine, but instead of extending it, it attaches it to where it doesn't have to extend whatever it needs to infect, and it attacks different cells with those small spikes or pricks in the cell makeup. So once that happens, I seen a post on Instagram, and it says that in the early stages of the coronavirus, gurgling vinegar or such water or whatever will drastically reduce the chance of it continuing to get worse, and it might even clear it up before it gets any worse. But and it also drastically reduces the symptoms if it does continue. But I feel like the coronavirus, in all respect and everything, I feel like the sickness is way too put out of portion. Like they overestimated. Searching up, I said, well, I didn't really search it up. I just came by it on the my phone. It was like 33% of it, 33% of the patients, it just goes away. They end up weathering it all. I'm gonna search it up real quick for y'all. See how many deaths have been recorded. Coronavirus deaths. There's 169,212 cases, and out of that big number, it may seem like this is a lot, but there is 6,499 deaths recorded from worldometers.info / coronavirus. But I feel like most of that can be accredited to the fact that even though they had the sickness, they decided to put it off and didn't practice good hygiene, because I feel like if you did, you could get a lot more help, and that 32% would maybe double if the people that didn't get it in the first place didn't already have bad hygiene habits, they didn't wash their hands regularly or whatever, and they didn't help themselves anymore after they got the sickness. And the 169,000 cases aren't really coronavirus. It's just symptoms that they said are related to the coronavirus, which leads me to believe that the 6.5K deaths that have been recorded, so as they say, might have been caused by something similar to coronavirus, but not exactly like it, because the coronavirus is, in my opinion, weaker than the flu that we all know of. We have a cure for and whatnot. We know the flu affects the human body for about a week. You have a runny nose. Whenever you go to sleep, your nose is always stopped up. Then it worsens to the point where your nose is stopped up, whether you're laying down or up and moving, and that's about the worst of it. And sometimes you might get a cough. But the coronavirus is what happens when it's basically you just don't have good hygiene habits. So the flu can be spread regardless, coughs and whatnot, but the corona can be avoided. And with that, I'm going to give the spotlight back to Brother Infinite. Peace and love.
Peace and love, brother. We want to definitely give you a special honor and homage for giving us and providing us with that information that you just gave us. And just like you did, like I want to give one's information to add on to the topic. So basically, the Chinese government, they had 60,000 cases of the coronavirus, or 60,000 cases of people affected with the coronavirus. So the fact that they didn't have Western type of medicine on top, what they did was they gave all of the patients a bag of brown soup. This soup contain a Chinese remedy which blended from over 20 herbs, including ephedra, cinnamon twigs, licorice root, and amongst the most. So they said, going back to the article, of all the 69 cases so far, more than 50,000 patients have been discharged from hospitals, and the majority of them use the natural treatment. One of the representatives said, citing it as evidence for the efficacy of using Chinese and Western medicine in conjunction with one another. So in the Eastern, more so going back to what we were breaking down throughout the dialogue, got to make sure we eating right. Like in our foods, we can find tools, minerals, and things to better our immune system. So we got to make sure we eating for health, which ultimately lead to that wealth. And we come around for closing, family. In closing, I want to say we got to continue to wash our hands, wash our ass, wash our everything, and making sure we got our tissue, Lysol, our hand sanitizer, make sure we just mindful of the germs in our area, and make sure we mindful of our elders in our area and the ones that are at disease, have illnesses and bad ailments, so to speak, because that's who this disease or this virus affects most. Those of our people with illnesses and diseases and stuff. So this disease or virus is more detrimental to those. That's what I have for the closing. What about you, beloved brother?
Nothing really. I ain't really got nothing to add on. I got most of my point across when you gave me the platform a while back. Yeah, that's really all I had to say in the situation.
Indeed. And like we always say, y'all join us next week, same time, 7 p.m. Gonna be a different topic. Oh yeah, our sister wanna send a special homage to our sister, like it's her daddy's birthday and her little brother birthday tomorrow, so they doing it big down there in Albany, Georgia. Want to definitely salute our sister Talal Farrar Bay. She'll be back in tune with her on next week on the call, and our sister come from that Morris sign background. She definitely knowledgeable, like everybody on the call that you heard speak thus far. So y'all stay tuned, stay in spirit, stay on the mission. The mission is to live following humanity. And we're going to do that with visionary leader by teaching our people about the economics and financial literacy to better help us. Because black wealth is what really matters. So without further ado, like we open with the Al-Fatiha, I want to close with the Lord prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses as we forget those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver from evil. That is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. And forever. But we are wrapping it up. We got like a few minutes. And just to kind of sum everything up, like we'll be an archive. Y'all will be able to get the full show online. Like, it's a link. Pretty much you can find it on the page. And also you can find the link on the YouTube page, www.visionaryleadersos.com. And I know the time kind of get messed up. Like, the time is on Eastern Standard Time, so it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all stay blessed. We're going to do this again next week. It mighty.